Most relationships don't end because love disappears. They end because understanding does. If you're watching this, it means you still care. You still feel something. You don't want to give up blindly. Hello and welcome to Master Mindology, the channel where we don't give fake motivation. We explain how the human mind actually works in relationships. Today, we'll break down 10 psychology-backed tips that can save a relationship, not magically, but realistically. Tip 1. Stop trying to win, start trying to understand brain psychology explanation. The human brain is wired for self-protection, not connection. When conflict starts, the amygdala, fear center, takes control. Your partner is no longer someone you love. They become a threat to your emotional safety. So the brain shifts into defense, justification, winning mode. Every argument becomes about proving I'm right instead of we are safe. Crossmark what most people do. Interrupt. Defend immediately. Bring past mistakes. White heavy checkmark what saves the relationship. Psychology shows that feeling understood calms the nervous system faster than being agreed with. Try this. Help me understand how you feel. Understanding disarms fear. Winning increases distance. White heavy checkmark tip 2. Regulate emotions before discussing problems. Brain psychology explanation. You cannot solve relationship problems when the nervous system is dysregulated. When emotions are high, logical brain, prefrontal cortex, shuts down. Survival brain takes over. Empathy drops. This is why calm talks turn into fights. Small issues explode. Crossmark common mistake. Talking right now when emotions are burning. White heavy checkmark psychology-based solution. Pause before reacting. Research shows a calm nervous system equals productive communication. Take deep breathing. Time out. Physical movement. Calm first. Talk later. White heavy checkmark tip 3. Stop assuming intent, ask for clarity. Brain psychology explanation. The brain hates uncertainty. So it fills gaps with assumptions. They don't care. They're ignoring me. They're selfish. But assumptions are interpretations, not facts. The mind creates stories when communication is missing. Crossmark what destroys relationships. Mind reading without evidence. White heavy checkmark what saves relationships. Replace assumptions with curiosity. Say, when this happened, I felt ignored. Was that your intention? Clarity prevents resentment. White heavy checkmark tip 4. Understand emotional needs, not just words. Brain psychology explanation. Every person has core emotional needs. Safety, validation, respect, appreciation. When these are unmet, the brain reacts with anger, withdrawal, coldness. But people rarely say, my emotional need is unmet. They say, you never listen. You don't care. You've changed. Crossmark common error. Taking words literally. White heavy checkmark psychology skill. Listen beneath words. Anger often means I feel unseen. White heavy checkmark tip 5. Stop keeping score, the relationship killer. Brain psychology explanation. Scorekeeping activates ego comparison mode. The brain starts tracking. Who gives more? Who sacrifices more? Who is wrong more? This creates resentment, emotional distance, power struggle. Love cannot survive competition. Crossmark what happens. I did this, you didn't. I always try. White heavy checkmark what heals. Shift from fairness to connection. Healthy relationships focus on how can we feel close again? Small Blue Diamond Part 1 Short CTA. If this is helping, subscribe to Master Mindology. Small Blue Diamond Part 2, Tips 6 to 10. Almost equals 3,000 words. White heavy checkmark tip 6. Learn to repair after conflict. Brain psychology explanation. Psychologist John Gottman found successful couples don't avoid fights, they repair quickly. Repair means apology, reassurance, humor, touch. Without repair, the nervous system stays threatened. Emotional walls build. Crossmark damage pattern. Silent treatment. Unresolved tension. White heavy checkmark healing pattern. Say, I don't want to fight. I want us. Repair restores safety. White heavy checkmark tip 7. Reduce emotional reactivity. Brain psychology explanation. Reactivity is automatic. Response is conscious. Reactive people say things they regret. Escalate conflicts. The brain reacts when triggers are unresolved. Old wounds activate. White heavy checkmark psychology tool. Pause between trigger and response. This pause weakens old patterns. Strengthens emotional control. Emotional maturity saves relationships. White heavy checkmark tip 8. Build safety, not control. Brain psychology explanation. Control comes from fear. Safety comes from trust. When people feel unsafe, they monitor, question, restrict. This activates resistance. The brain rebels against control but opens up to safety. Crossmark what pushes people away. Suspicion, pressure, constant questioning. White heavy checkmark what pulls people closer. Consistency, calm presence, respect. White heavy checkmark tip 9. Stop expecting one person to fulfill everything. Brain psychology explanation. No human can meet all emotional needs, all validation, all support. When expectations are unrealistic, disappointment grows, pressure increases. Healthy psychology says, balance emotional dependence with independence. White heavy checkmark relationship balance. Have personal goals, friends, inner fulfillment. This reduces emotional suffocation. White heavy checkmark tip 10. Choose growth over ego. Brain psychology explanation. Ego protects pride. Growth protects connection. Ego says, I won't apologize. They should change first. Growth says, what can I do better? The brain resists change when ego leads. It heals when humility leads. Subscribe to Master Mindology for psychology-based relationship wisdom. Most relationships fail not because love is gone, but because emotional safety is gone. Psychology proves connection returns when safety returns. Saving a relationship is not about perfection, control, sacrifice. It's about understanding, regulation, emotional intelligence.